Greetings, Blacklight, Elder Blacklight. I'm about to take you on a trip that will take you in the past, the present, and the future. About 1967, Detroit, and I'm going to give you two versions. Bourgeois, paid by the establishment, and a raw, elderly, born in 1946, talking about myself, Blacklight, born and raised in Detroit, raw version, the real true version. Let's get started.
I want our people to taste some history. I want them to breathe it in. Let it rumble down in there, in the city of their soul, as my mama used to say, and then breathe it out. Because tonight, we're going to look at a part of American history, the part of black history that doesn't get talked about. Do you remember the riots in Detroit in 1967? You remember those riots? To the viewers who watch, some of the audience, have you even heard of that? Do you even know that Detroit was set on fire? Detroit blew up. It blew up. 5 days the city was on fire. And you'd be surprised tonight, as I present to you this documentary in a second, tonight you'd be surprised at how what happened in Detroit is happening right now in Los Angeles and Atlanta and Chicago and New York and Miami and Philadelphia. The same conditions that created that riot and that rebellion are happening right now. Woe to America if it does not watch this documentary, and woe to America if it does not understand the connection between past, present, and future. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. It's amazing. Tonight I want to take you back to 1967 and that long, hot, desperate summer when the police were beating on our sons and cracking our daughters upside their head, when racial antagonism and racial oppression was running wild, when white people thought they had a privilege and a right to call black people niggers and coons and sambos, and when black people had to find their courage and their strength not just to liberate themselves, but to get out of the bed in the morning and not go crazy. I want to take you back to 1967. I want you to sit in that summer. And tonight, I present to you this extraordinary documentary, one that I think will bless your life and change your soul. It is, after all, called Fox Soul. And here on Fox Soul, we endeavor to affect your soul. And we're going to do that tonight by watching something that our good friend Hugh Perkins put together from our affiliate in Detroit, our Fox affiliate in Detroit. Thank you, Brother Hugh, for giving us this opportunity to watch this. On the other side of it, I'm going to come back and have a conversation with Hugh about it. We're going to talk about the documentary. We're going to ask him some questions that I want to know. It is a powerful testimony. Don't you go anywhere. You sit down and breathe your history, because it lives whether you like it or not. Let's go to the documentary. Toughest situation to deal with that I've seen now short of Vietnam. What's the intersection there? What was remaining of the upper story just fell in. It was leaning precariously for some time. Now it just fell into the street. We just heard a sniper shot. No one knows where it has come from here at the corner of Taylor and 12th. There are rows of houses here on my right at least.
4 or 5, all that's standing, the foundation and the chimneys, even the basements are afire.
Our community has been torn apart. We have spent years trying to build bridges, and then to have persons just come in and in a few hours to destroy this is a little bit more than some of us can take. I'm Joe Perkins, and we're on 12th Street, renamed Rosa Parks Boulevard. This is ground zero for the tumultuous days that would forever change the landscape of Detroit. Now, what really happened here is still up for debate. Some call it a riot. Others say it was an uprising, a rebellion. Whatever you call it, we're not here to rewrite history. We're here to show you history, our history, from the TV2 archives, film from 5 decades ago.
Congressman, is there any relief in sight? How have you been handling this situation?
Well, I think that we can't overpraise the way that the local officials have handled this matter. I think that finally it's become painfully clear that we can't isolate the problems, that they are spreading indeed throughout the whole city.
Entire blocks have been leveled by fire and pockets of destruction exist throughout the city. Losses due to fire and looting have been estimated at hundreds of millions of dollars, and these estimates may well prove to be conservative.
This is 12th and Claremont, where it all started. Right now it's Thomas Gordon Park, but back then, this was a busy area filled with shops and entertainment. Pete, this was a busy area filled with shops and entertainment. People had gathered here at an illegal after-hours nightclub that police called a Blind Pig. They had come here to celebrate the homecoming of 2 soldiers from the Vietnam War. Detroit police raided that bar, called in paddy wagons, and hauled off about 80 people to jail. That's when all hell broke loose. When it ended, 43 people were dead and more than 1,000 injured.
See, they make it sound like it just all of a sudden happened, you know. But this has been jumping off ever since before the 40s. They had a riot around 42, I think it was, in Detroit on the east side. And I'm not going to go into that. My time is running short. But when I told you in a couple of videos back that we moved over there on Wildermere and Finkel, 12th round into Finkel, Claremont, you know, was in walking distance, and on 12th, they had Jewish retailers. You know, they owned just about all of 12th, and blacks was taking over. And the police, when it was an influx of blacks on the west side, on the street that I moved on Wildermere, let me go back a little bit. On the last video I told you I went to a school called Custer. Went to 3 schools. Custer. Then we was to go to Post Junior High. Then Mumford. All 3 of them schools was racial tension. But I'm going to go back to the middle school, Post Junior High, where at some point where a few blacks was attending, black people, a black family moved across the street directly from Post Junior High, which was on Green Lawn. Post Junior High was on Green Lawn between Midland and Pilgrim, not too far off of Finkel, maybe about 2 or 3 blocks off of Finkel, right in the middle on Midland. And this black family moved in there. They put a cross. See, he don't go back further enough. They put a cross. Now this was in the 50s. You late 50s, 59, maybe 60, around there. They put a cross, burnt that cross on these black people's line. Now, that's when a little small mini riot jumped off, or rebellion jumped off, right at Post Junior High, inside the school. And then there were 3 black high schools that came to Post to help us fight. It was Central High, it was Durfee, which was a junior high, it was Northern and Northwestern, plus brothers that just hung in the street, little thug brothers that didn't go to school. They went to Washington Trade and Moore. These were schools for children that they couldn't, they call bad boys. And I just wanted y'all to know that we're going to continue this on another day, but I thought it was relevant what's happening in Minnesota. It's going to happen all over. Ain't nothing changed since then. And like I said, it's going back to the 40s. Because, see, in Detroit, you got 3 automotive factories. Blacks were trying to get in the union. They were fighting about that. There was a rebellion about that. Blacks wanted to move here and there and the other. They didn't want blacks moving. They was warned. This is to be continued. Black Light out.